Welcome back to Orwell, where we're not as done as we thought. I'm kind of curious if it was even possible to catch Juliet before time was up. I definitely submitted a bunch of information that turned out to be erroneous, but based on my instruction, which at the time was at any location, hideout locations, that really made me submit a whole bunch of things that weren't actually meaningful. So now we've got a couple of different ways to go. We can incriminate ourselves. We can incriminate Delacroix. Or we can, well, there's other options here. So let's see. No romantic dinners. Gets on a bus on the Freedom Plaza every day due to Juliet Carrington's suggestion. When is this from? Like a week and a half ago. Don't let yourself be bothered by the past, says Juliet. So she set her up. That's for sure. Is this suggesting Cassandra Watergate was possibly coerced into being at Freedom Plaza by Juliet Carrington? Nothing, nonetheless. Incredible. Doesn't matter anymore. Focus on undoing thought as a whole. No, I'm not going to listen to you anymore. Wasn't really listening to you before, but certainly not now. I'm just skimming these. Hold on. Sunday. So she was at work. Poor choice to follow this Abraham creep just because he worked at Rosentech. Okay. So she got a job there because he worked there. Probably. So she's probably mostly telling the truth. Wasting precious time. What time? I've got plenty of time. You no longer gave me a cap, so I'm going to keep using the tool. Why wouldn't I? I was thinking I was going to have to reload the game. I did back up my save before I started this recording session, so I was thinking I was going to reload the save and see if we could catch Juliet before, but that's the only the only photo you've got, huh? Goldfells is dead. What do you expect to happen on his phone line? Fuck off. So the campground is not included on hers, and I don't believe this was included on Harrison's. But I don't know. It's not stopping me from submitting these. This is her home address, I think. Why not? at this point. Nothing's preventing me from submitting these, so I might as well be thorough. See what I might have missed. Harrison O'Donnell's behind the exposure. We knew that already. I mean, we know he wrote the article. We don't know that he instigated the whole thing necessarily. Motivations are difficult. What are you looking at my computer? You're supposed to trace the source of the intrusion. Leave my PC alone now. You would not want to be assessed as a traitor, would you? Well, no, but I'll be back. Initiates PC. So this is basically them doing their own research. Bit too shy, maybe hiding something. Should get around to talking to her sometime. Organized peaceful protests, ex of Harrison. Confirmation of completed internship. Themba van Biljorn John was placed as an intern at Rosen Technologies. In-house security. Why does this confirm that that's who this person is? I'm not going to submit that. Not yet, at least. Ignorant to Abe's intentions, probably incited protests Abe would never have approved. Great band, sounds a lot like Rat King. Loadmouth. Talks a lot of shit, not a terrorist. He's running a thought page, could try to disrupt to get attention. They just have a FTP server as their web server. With a random bass password. Why does he work for TNB now? Cover, tries to intimidate me, lol, wise ass. Let him crawl through my timeline. The results of this consideration only intervene. I don't get it. Intervene with what? Why don't you tell me? Can't risk telling you. I will be placed at Rosentech. This is all I can say. This very government has deprived me of the chance for a better future. Future with my sister here. And I will not stand idly by while the most sane and intelligent person I know makes such a dick move to be corrupted by the government. The opportunity to have such an impact on our common future will only come once in a lifetime. I need you to understand this. Well, this makes sense because if they worked at Rosentech in 2014, that was probably the same time that Goldfels was thereabouts. So, bullshit, we can always do something about the government. Find some followers, build a group, gain followers just like me, then we start a guerrilla war. Think through what you're saying. Consider the chain of events this will set in motion. I will found a cell for this guerrilla war. Then I will recruit members, call to arms, then we start acting, even committing bombings possibly, killing people. Then they will increase security measures. Nothing gets better. I've had it. You're making up excuses. You aren't better than anyone else. This is about money, nothing else. Don't be ridiculous. This is the last time we speak. I will no longer read your blog. I will no longer comment. I will no longer care. I will be gone. Poof. Very well, I understand. You are young, you are fiery. It's okay if you don't support the actions of a stupid old man. I would not act differently, I suppose. Maybe it is time to part ways then. It is. I hope you will achieve everything you want eventually by peaceful means, and you will be able to live your life freely. You will always be the one to initiate my thoughts with your regular comments to my posts. At the very least, this will remain. Goodbye. Well, there's possibly where the name came from. So it's not initiate, it's initiate. Hey, Winston. Who's Winston? So you hear about the Bonton bombings. It was on the news even here. What about it? Know some peeps who might be behind it. Claim they suspect the government, so two possibilities exist. Those people are trying to bullshit me big time, or there's more to it. I need to exclude the latter. You wouldn't know anything about goings on with the nation's would you? Actually, I might. There's this rumor. What rumor? A friend of mine claims to know a guy going by the name of X2_think who got recruited by the government. Recruited for what? for a cis called Orwell. Orwell, like the author? Oh my god. So the thing, Orwell exists in the universe. What a fucking joke. It's pretty vague what it can actually do, but everything points at a crowdsourced surveillance of the web as a whole. Recruit everyday peeps for this outside of the nation. Super hush hush, you sure? Assume the worst. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Pretty vague, just on the grapevine. Where's the connection to the Bonton bombing? System entered a test phase on April 13th. Rings a bell? Holy crap. Holy crap indeed. Anything else? Not for now. I'll try to get more info. Thanks, man. I owe you. So, Sawubana Mfowethu. Knock knock, big brother. How's life in the nation? Is it still as sprawling as the last time you sent me a letter? I sure hope so. Finally got into an unsecured Wi-Fi network from one of the houses across the street, so no more running around searching for a spot. First thing I'm doing is send you an email, of course. Big brother, I know you're still so determined to get me to the nation. I am writing this email to let you know that I am fine here. Maybe our home in Cape Town, South Africa, isn't a house in Bonton, and of course I miss you dearly, but don't waste your life on this. You took the chance to get out of here, and you had every right to. How should you have foreseen the security bill, or however it was named? You couldn't. I know you made the stupid promise to come and get me. Forget about it. I release you. Instead, promise me something else. To put your anger aside and live your life, please. By the way, your old laptop is fine. In fact, I'm typing this very email on it. Remember the endless hours we sat in front of that tiny broken screen and you would show me how to operate it? But mostly we would play this ancient version of Battleship that showed nothing but grids and circles and crosses. Hey, why don't we play around via mail, huh? Put up your ships, don't read further. I start, D2, did I hit? I'm so looking forward to your answer, big brother, and don't forget that promise. Your sister, Bali. Oh. So this is probably them. Need to visit him, Rosen. I need to know what he does. He really was there. Didn't recognize me, though. What's he doing in there? What the hell became of him? Real sweetie. Angry, angry, angry. Need to check on her. Soldier in the army. Has a kid, Michael. Don't think she's behind this. Mostly harmless. Arrested? Joseph. No idea who this guy is. New surveillance system according to Winston. Crowdsource. Can observe the whole web. Secret recruitment outside of the nation. Checked IPs so far. Possible intrusion point. Backend server. 2 firewalls up there. Doable. Benjamin Costigan advisor. What is an investigator then? Fuck. Got booted out hard. Don't try this IP again. Might be tracing me. There's a lot more here than I expected, I have to say. We might as well fill these out, like I was saying, just to get the full picture. Not particularly interested in the love life of a terrorist. Well, doesn't seem to be a terrorist, and besides that, I want the full picture. The little things that don't seem to matter add up to things that do matter. So, notable alumni. Yeah, we saw this before and it didn't let us submit it. So, thanks, you dicks. Harrison arrested today. Multiple incitement of murder. Suspect was found alone at Orchard Drive working on this laptop, which was connected to a public Wi-Fi hotspot. When the suspect noticed our arrival, he attempted to flee, but was quickly cornered by officers in pursuit. He compiled and offered no resistance to arrest. Okay, so they did get arrested. Or at least he did. So I didn't submit Juliet's addresses until after the call, so they couldn't investigate her. So Harrison is the only one who got arrested, which I feel a little bad about. Though, to be fair, as I've said before, the game deliberately deprives you of information until the moment it wants you to have it. So because I didn't progress far enough in the investigation on this final day, the 20 submissions, there were enough that were erroneous that I couldn't intervene sooner and possibly not submit. I mean, I don't even know if there was enough data that I could have submitted a bunch of other erroneous things just to not submit his possible addresses. So he worked on the project that she subsequently looked up. I command you to no longer dig around in Abraham Goldfell's past. I could easily turn you into a target person for disobeying me. You would not want that, do you? What is strange, though, is that Kerrigan requested material on this demiurge. Yeah. I know. Dude. I developed the so-called ethical codex. Oh, this is a whole new entry. Did we really not read this before? I guess. Now I'm become death, the destroyer of worlds. Oppenheimer quoted when he realized he made the nuclear bomb possible. For the first time, I feel I truly understand what he meant. I know it's impossible to stop progress. I thought I could change what was coming, control the inevitable from within. I cannot. I made a mistake. I must quit at once. I do feel like we read this, but we didn't get to submit this before. Or maybe it was a partial text. The only thing I can do to seek redemption, to let this be my confession. I, Abraham Goldfels, developed the so-called ethical codex for a project codenamed Demiurge, which has been renamed Orwell. Okay, so that wasn't there. If I have proof for everything I am about to write, clone to a device with the UUID, or the UID, PC, blah, blah, blah. Orwell is the most sinister project I can think of, a system to spy on every last citizen in the nation. My intention was to cover this highly invasive project by applying strong ethical constraints on what it can access and how that access is granted. I was given a lot of freedom in this regard, yet that was not enough. Seeing this thing in action, I can only look at myself in disgust for being so naive, that I ignored the danger that was staring me in the face. Even when the system is investigating targeted persons, it will jump from one individual to another, ultimately parsing all of their indiscretions and making everyone a target. Each test indicated one true fact: no one is innocent. I feel the urge to run to the press, give them conclusive evidence that Orwell exists, yet I ask myself, will it achieve anything? Just another news piece lost in the crowd, one that will be drowned out by the latest timeline scandal or whatever Rosen is eating for breakfast. I doubt I'll even have enough strength to leave this article live on the blog. I can't handle the shame of what I've done. I bet they'll start using the project against me and the others I am connected to. It will be for the best if I just archive it, but I need to commit my thoughts to words, even if they are just for myself. Well, that's not the internet, how the internet works, bud, so. So why would this suddenly be reposted? There's just too many technical inconsistencies in the made for the sake of storytelling. So you know it now. Yes, we hired him for Orwell. This is his doing. It was me who wanted him on the project in the first place, to get things right with Orwell, to follow ethical standards. Only very few people here know that, and I wanted to make sure it stayed that way. Our most ferocious enemy worked for us, a person I chose. Now you know all about it. Discovered the very tool it was all about. The irony is not lost on me. Oh well, you chose to disobey. I warned you before. This will have consequences for you. Well, that's interesting. I don't think that's even the, is that the name I put on the profile when I started it? I don't remember. I mean, that just feels needless. I mean, how did that even happen? Because, like... Why do we have... Oh, so we can submit his mugshot? Yeah, great. Why not? Just to make the little blinky go away. I mean, I'm not really worried about being... having my character exposed at this point. Hopefully the story that gets picked up is that I went against what I was hired to do. But regardless, I've already been exposed sufficiently enough that I think it's fair to expect that that there are additional ramifications to come regardless. Anyway, I'm gonna end this episode and then we'll keep going in the next one. I think we're just gonna expose everyone, but we'll see. See you guys then.